Hey everybody, it's Bust, continuing our playthrough of the Path of Champions. Today, we are on Annie's 1.5-star quest, the Saltwater Scourge, and let's take a peek at the champion before we get started. So our Annie, up to this point, still only has 0 stars, no level ups of note there. Champion level up to level 6, and then the relic we are using when summoned to refill your spell mana. So in terms of actually leveling up, she's pretty low, but the relic does make her pretty powerful. We look to either take advantage of her aggression or take advantage of her spell mana, getting us a quick 3 bonus mana for just an investment of 1. But as we start to get to these more challenging quests, now that we're out here to the 1.5-star quest with no star powers attached to our champion, we are going to have to look a little bit more towards the late game. In all of our previous videos, we've basically taken on the strategy of just taking whatever cheapest cards get offered up to us and then using the healer to cut the expensive cards out of our deck. Now we're going to have to look towards some more mid-rangey style strategies since the bosses do get a little bit more challenging and then they're better able to just deal with a collection of stats thrown at them. But here, getting Domination to start is incredibly good. Round Start Rally is one of the most powerful relics in the game, and so always happy to add that one in. And let's see what happens. It's good going. And so, when the foe attacks, grant their 1-cost units +1 attack. You got it, Jagged Taskmaster. We miss you from Expedition. This was one of the Expedition gems, getting to play the Professor Von Yip plus Jagged Taskmaster deck. Not anymore. It's been taken away from us, but man, that was a classic. But alright, our starting hand here, not bad. We can just hang on to all of this. It's considering getting rid of the House Spider and perhaps looking for a spell or something a little bit more expensive, but I think this will work out. It's like if we're going to be playing on curve, then the House Spider is going to work out beautifully. But looking good. Also does showcase a bit of that power in having the spell mana added to our Annie whenever she comes into play. Just we can play super on curve. We have access to the Disintegrate even though we are continuing to play on curve. This all looks really good. Gonna power up the Prefect. Alright, so we got all of our skilled units on board. Prefect ready to do the cool stuff. No! Ah, what a lame-o. Jagged Taskmaster is not here to have fun today. We'll give him an emote, but it doesn't feel good. You know, I don't I feel like the Taskmaster knew that they weren't going to win. They were just here to cause us a little bit of harm. And they've certainly done it. They've certainly done it. Oh gosh, a bubble bear. More parlays. Alright. Make a sad noise, I guess. Oh shit, I forgot we had Round Start Rally. Oh man, maybe that's why the Taskmaster was making fun of us, because we're forgetting about one of the strongest things our champion can do. Alright, we got it. We got that out of the way though. That's gonna be locked and loaded in our brain throughout the rest of the video. Alright, Annie, I feel bad. We should throw this one away and start over again just because we ruined it so hard right at the beginning. What do we got here? More Disintegrates are okay. I was talking about needing like some more late gamey kind of cards, but things like Shark Trainer and Earthshaker just aren't it. We can always just look for like a more expensive champion if we need to. I'm going to pick up the Disintegrates just because it's already in our deck, and if we can attach some more items to it, we can make kind of a super spell, if you will. Okay, in terms of the champions here, I'm not entirely opposed to Nami. This is actually a pretty interesting champion in that we generate the spell mana off of our Annie, which has got to help level up the Nami. Tidal Wave is a reasonable way to be using advantage of that mana as well. I didn't think this was Ebb and Flow. That makes me like a little bit less interested. Ebb and Flow is the Nami spell. This is a fantastic one to use with Annie, but I think that'll be okay. The coral creatures are kind of on theme. I don't know if we'll be able to use the spell mana it generates, but a lot of good combos coming out of that. Okay, so what are these adventures? Reaver's Row, not entirely sure what that one is, or the Slaughter Docks, not entirely sure what that one is. Let me see. Okay, well, I checked the events table on my site and don't have either of these on there, so I'm just going to go with the Reaver's Row. Sounds like it probably has something to do with one drops, and so that could be quite useful as we stack up our decks with ones. And so on to battle against Kato. The foe's units have overwhelm, or the foe's units with overwhelm have +2 attack. It's Kato time. All right, not a bad start. We'll get rid of Nami. She takes a bit of work to get rolling. The Disintegrate, I don't think we'll need here early. This one might actually be kind of regrettable to get rid of, just because it can be so good with both Annie's, Flame Torch, whatever that's called, and then the Legion Saboteur having quick attack. But hopefully we don't regret it. Come on, bud. It's that part of the video where a kitty comes to hang out. Make him in here. Surprise appearance. Say what up, internet. What up? All right. Round done. We'll see if he doesn't play a cheaper unit that we can pop with this tidal wave. No. Unfortunate. Well, I guess that's one way to make usage of a Disintegrate. if he's gonna force Annie into combat. Oh shit, hang on. We don't even deal any damage. Oh my gosh, I'm losing it today. I'm losing it. Maybe we'll get it on the crack back here. That's what we had in mind, right? That's what we had in mind. Brutal. I'm losing it out here. It's this damn cat. Comes up here and starts chewing on my cords. Makes it incredibly challenging to to keep your focus get going. All right, here we got to keep our aggression up. I don't want to just like stop, do no attacks because he has a bigger unit on board. We should be able to crush in a bunch of damage here and then be ready to get a lethal on our next turn. We may have been the spot if we attacked the flip way, to where if we attacked with the Legion Saboteur first, we might have gotten a kill. I wasn't paying close enough attention to see if we could have flipped the Annie, and then if you're in the middle of combat, you can flip your Annie and she'll actually do the big attack instead of the little one. We may have been able to end that a turn earlier. This is for your learning experience. Learn a lot of what not to do, a little bit of what you can do. Okay, so not a particularly strong set of cards. I'm going to pick up the Lord Broadmane here. As the games kind of drag on a little bit, having access to his kill ability will be pretty decent. Got to care a little bit about the late game in some of these. Oh boy, fantastic upgrade to Annie. What's this Reaver's Row do? Just buy cards to add to your deck? It should be just things with one-cost cards. That's what you see out of the Reaver's Row in the game, actually just generating cards. But man, this Annie with Draw Me If I'm Not in Your Hand is a fantastic start. Oh no, we don't have the money for it. F. Sad day, man. Sad day. I was so hype about that. She's such a powerful champion to start the game with, but damn. All right, well, we'll pick up these Crackshot Corsairs. They have skill abilities attached to them in the Crackshot. Helps us to level up our Annie. Man, sad day. Sad day. All right, Legion Marauder. The foe creates a Legion Marauder in hand. I think that was game start, not round start. We'll double check once the game begins. Yeah, game start, foe creates a Legion Marauder. Oh man, our first battle without an Annie in our opener. It's all gone downhill, man. We didn't get those additional Annies. I've been messing things up left and right. Could be hard. Could be hard making the videos. I was considering putting down the Coral Creatures. I'd like to have a card to play here, just a little bit of interactivity, but it could be hard to spike something that we actually want. And so the House Spider is just the kind of safer play in general. The Coral Creatures is more of a all-in kind of play. but we're still crushing pretty hard. Our rallies are carrying a lot of weight. So taken to 1. Looks like it. Okay, next combat will be good to go. GG, Legion Marauder. Okay, so are we getting anything out of these? Mana Soul Student is fine. That's a card that's already in our deck, but it's not the strongest unit to be adding challengers of. I like the Mana Soul Student like a little bit more in the Gen decks than I do in the Annie decks. I'm looking over here towards the Ballistic Bot. It's just a different way for us to get skill abilities on the board, but it's a little bit more combat relevant, I think. I'm going to go with the Ballistic Bot out of these. Onto the chests. Always important to stack our Annies, so we'll go to the Annie chest. Not a great collection of items. Let's give this a reroll. We still have our full 3 rerolls. Let's see if we can't find something a little bit stronger. None of these are it. We'll give it one more roll and then save the rest for the future. Yeah, I guess we'll take the support bonus instead of the Giant's Belt. Just a little bit more combat-centric. Not too worried about our health, though, at this point. Anything worth cutting. I'm still okay with the Tidal Wave. Let's just take either the Mana Soul Student or the Spellslinger out. They are on the cheaper end of the spectrum, but they aren't really that high impact. But we do get a little bit more usage out of the Spellslinger, I think. The Mana Soul Student can go. Alright, on to Swain, our first boss battle. Round start, deal 1 to all of the players' damaged units. Not very nice, bro. Not very nice. Why you gotta be dealing... Why don't you heal all of our damaged units? That would be much more friendly. Alright, but not a bad start. I'll hang on to this Disintegrate so our Annie can safely attack here for a while. And it is kind of nice with the Ballistic Bot having a way to spend down a bit of this spell mana if we need to. Burning. Alright, we could have opened with Annie. That would have been a little safer, but I do like that we still have the Disintegrate in hand. We can take down whatever blocks her, leave us in a decent-ish spot. Oh, opponent has no intentions of blocking. Now we can double up on these Ballistic Bots. Okay. He does have attack token now, so let's at least lead in with the House Spider. Things still look okay. He's not being particularly threatening here. We still get to attack with our Annie. We get 2 skills this turn. Since we have the Crackshot Corsair in the background. All looks pretty good. You have to block at some point, my dude. Swain's he's being very, very casual about the amount of damage coming in. Alright, I think we're set. We could have looked to go for a board clear by disintegrating both of his units and then playing a Tidal Wave, but that's just such a slow way to go about it. Let's be real. We're not winning any damage races that way. Okay, we need to take one of these units down. We want to just take both down in combat? Sure. Targeted enemies. I don't think Tidal Wave can hit face, right? We're going to be 1 damage short of a lethal here, but I don't think we can play Tidal Wave to get a kill. So we'll just disintegrate both of his units, and then we'll get a kill on our open attack next turn. Not that scared, bro. You're gonna get boomed by the Crackshot Corsair. I bet he blocks now. Watch him. Yeah, I knew he would come down and just take down one of our units when the game was over. Get in that cupcake. Let's go make some more friends. Alright, well done, Annie. Fairly easy battle for us. And do we want any of these? I mean, I'm going to add Annie to our deck just to make sure we get more copies of her, but when I'm summoned, summon an ephemeral copy. I guess that'll work. It's not the strongest thing with her, but it is going to give us additional skill abilities, and she has that support item attached to her. I guess that'll do something. A little bit more than adding Namis to the board. Alright, what do we get out of these? Created cards cost one less. We don't have too many created cards. We have the Coral Creatures generating some, but nothing else. Otherwise, fast draw is always okay. Just to get the additional card draw into your deck. I'm never really excited about Dragon's Rage. It's just something you get stuck with if you don't have any rerolls. But I think we can reroll all of these. And then I am interested in Crush. Allies have Overwhelm is extremely powerful. And so the Overwhelm plus Round Start Rally is a pretty big deal. Don't want the gold chest. We already have this massive stack of cash. So we'll go down towards the bottom and the other item chest. Here we have Round Start. Create a knock 'em down in the foe's hand. Get their mini burn spells on us. Both many as in a lot and many as in tiny. Okay, no Annies again. Life can be hard, man. You can't plunder us this turn, so I'll just go ahead and let this attack happen. We get a free crack back, and we'll try to continue on this aggression. It's a little worrisome having 4 1-health units strewn about our hand, and then him generating these 1 damage burn spells every turn. And so I'm going to try and take this a little bit safer. I'm going to go with playing the Ballistic Bot and then trying to use a combination of Ballistic Bot and the Prefect to close this one out. Currently deal 2 damage with this thing. We're just like a little bit behind on this turn, but we'll start to pop off now. We have all the tools one could need to really get the Prefect going, between the Ballistic Bot generating stuff, a little bit of protection with the Death's Hand. I think we're okay now. I'm just sitting back on this Death's Hand. I assume that he's going to try and make some kind of play with his powder kegs. Apparently he's not going to, but that was my initial concern. Let's see. He doesn't have an attack token and he's out of mana at this point, so let's make the most of what we can now. So let's add in the Crackshot Corsair. I'm going to stun Jack the Winner. The fearsome block isn't something to worry about. He can put a block in front of our Prefect. That's not that big of a deal. And then let's at least put a small hit in on the powder kegs. Okay, not bad. Now we can come in and stun Jack the Winner again. Get us a little bit more prepared. Ew. For a game ender. Maybe we just have to play the House Spider at this point. Just give up on a bit of that aggression. And he's fine. Is he really not going to attack with these things? There he goes. Okay, now it's pretty reasonable. Put a stun onto Jack the Winner. Now we're pretty safe to just attack with the rest of our team. Neg 11 coming at you. Ooh, that's tough. That's tough. And those little 1 damage burn spells were going to cause more trouble than I was initially anticipating.
Did you like that, Tibbers? Wasn't it fun?
That was fun, though. Good job, Tibbers. So what do we got? Additional Death's Hands? That's not bad. I could see the Decimate, the cheapened up Decimates, but I always feel like Decimate's a bit of a trap in Path of Champions. People that follow my constructed content know how much I love a Decimate, and it's just like when your opponent starts with 40 and 50 health, the Decimate gets percentage-wise much, much weaker, and so move away from that. We'll go with the cheaper Death's Hand. Improve a card that's already in our deck. Works quite well with Annie and everything. It's pretty good. What do we want to do here? Add 2 copies of something. We're out of rerolls. We can skip the spells if we don't want them, but I'm kind of looking towards this Shock Blast. Just all-around really high-powered card, and then it has give allies +1/+1 this round attached to it. This should be a pretty easy game ender, and so I'm going to go ahead and pick that one up just to get a touch more late game. Into the shop. The power is in my sights. Give the weakest enemy vulnerable. That's pretty decent. Otherwise, what do we have? Withering Whale with a ramp attached to it's kind of intriguing. The Plunder on Shunpo is also kind of interesting for us to get like 2 and 3 attacks in a turn. Since we already have the round start rally, we can be blasting in every turn. I think I'm interested in this Shunpo. Let's at least make... Okay, we'll have enough mana to... We're going to come back and get the other one. I just wanted to make sure we had enough money to get the power. And then we'll come back and add the Shunpo. Funsmith. I haven't tried to use Funsmith with Annie's, but it does work with a lot of our abilities, where your spells and skills deal an additional 1 damage. I just think we're pretty well set on our top end now. We'll let that go. Maybe we'll take the Funsmith into Constructed one day. All right, coming up to the last ones, we have another spell chest or a shop. We just spent all of our money, so I don't want to go to the shop. I'm going to go up north to the spell chest. So this one, round start, deal 1 to all of the foe's units, then grant the foes +1 health. Nice little set of Battle Scarsy abilities. Getting some kind of boost out of the self-damage. Okay, so let's hang on to our 1-drop. Look for some more cheap stuff. No Annies. Browntown. Hey, there we go. Turn that frown upside down. See, not bad, not bad. We get an additional point of damage in. We get the additional Pyroclasm, whatever this thing is called, Molten Shield. Could certainly do better, but not the worst ability to attach to her. Bringing the damage onto our units. I'm just gonna want the the Giant's Belt that we had the option to take. What's this do? Deal 1 to all units and then grant the foe's units a bonus. He's just gonna kill all of our units going into next turn. F. Can we flip our Annie here? Yeah, we can flip our Annie here. Good job, Shunpo. I'm glad we welcomed you to the team. All right, ability number 6, Tibbers, comes to the hand. Annie's going to get that point of health, so she'll survive into the next turn. Makes me feel a little better. Laser beam. All right, getting the physical disintegrates. These aren't flipped Annies. This is the actual disintegrate card. This is going to be lame. Double Death Lotus. Ugh. Okay. Not cool. At least we get a little bit of damage in there. Oh, the Annie ability doesn't pop off. That's sad. So we're kind of far away from actually playing these broad mains and these tibbers. Hopefully we just at least find something to do on this next turn. This opponent's kind of low on cards. These are the spots I'm talking about, as to where you do start to run out of stuff to do, right? If these were just like 2-drops, we could probably, you know, push far enough ahead on board to be interesting, but it's definitely a space to where our units could be dying. Okay, so we'll punch in a bit of overwhelm damage. I don't like how we attacked. We should have been supporting our non-ephemeral Annie. I was just kind of in autopilot mode there, just going with it, but it would have been a little bit safer to give her the bonus health, and then she could have taken down that Crimson Curator if that was actually important. But Tibber's here to save the day. Rip him. Okay. Let's make our way to Gangplank.
Did you like that, Tibbers? Wasn't it fun?
That was super fun, Tibbers. Okay, well, we can... Oh, wow. The Nox and Fervor has summon a random champion of my cost attached to it. That's not bad. Getting the 3 damage and then a champion with a little bit of interactivity attached to it. I think I'm just going to go with more prefects, but that is kind of an interesting Nox and Fervor there. But the prefect is just really on point. That's the top end that we actually want in this deck. Oh man, a Battle Fury. I don't think this is ever necessary, but I am a sucker for a Battle Fury. And so we'll go ahead and add that one in. Let's take out something expensive here. I'm leaning towards the Lord Broadmane, just because he doesn't get cast off of spell mana, right? I feel like we picked up enough top end there. And all right, then of course the round start. The foe starts with the foe gets a powder keg. The first time the foe starts the round with less than 15 health, they create the Dreadway in hand. And it's not like the full 8 mana Dreadway. I think it's a 6 mana Dreadway. It definitely has a cost attached to it, but this isn't like the old Lab of Legends style, to where as soon as he hit that health breakpoint, he would just automatically put the Dreadway on board. And so he does have to actually play it. Okay, we can Death's Hand this Jagged Butcher to protect our Annie if we want. It's making us do it. Okay, I'm a little worried. It takes a lot of grinding to take down Gangplank, and with this just massive Death's Hand, it seems kind of tough to get the takedowns. Right, well, Annie's getting real close to leveling up. She'll get there on this attack. Man, our ability sucks against Gangplank. he just always has the powder kegs to eat our vulnerable every turn. All right, well, Annie's getting on board. We want to go ahead and play Death's Hand. No, we're probably safe to just overbank 1 mana here. It's not that big of a deal. It can be important to hang on to these Death's Hands as a means to pop off the powder keg. Take 9. Okay. Little scary. Leaning towards trying to drop a Shock Blast this turn so we can just play Tibbers next turn. We could look to just build into Battle Fury, though. All of our units have Overwhelm. So it's a realistic strategy you could try and do. We're not dealing a ton of damage here, though. It's like we're just kind of taking down to about 20, 21.
You best hope they'll do, mate.
Do we have to save it to try and disintegrate Shock Blast this Gangplank? That's probably the safer way to go about this. I'm not sure if he's going to open attack on us or not. That's the only like scary thing about going into this next turn. But if he doesn't open... Brutal. Well, it's always a time for Battle Fury, am I right? That'll take her up to 7 health. Can we just take the rest of this? We would fall to 5 otherwise. That knock him down is getting pretty scary if we don't. Okay. We'll make this first attack. We can follow up with a Shunpo if we want. I just felt like it was really important to get those powder kegs off of the board. Now he just keeps passing it back to us. That's fairly interesting. I think we could just give up on the round. He's going to be under 15, so he's going to get the Dreadway into his hand. Right, you had your chance. Now here's the Dreadway Herder, but it costs 6 mana now, right? So it's not nearly as scary. So we should be able to make this big open attack. Shunpo something, play Tibbers, and then get a kill with our last 2 cards. As long as he can't burn us out. I mean, he can realistically just burn us out with the Dreadway, but hopefully we're safe. All right, bringing in the stuns, bringing in the Shunpos. I think we're going to do it. Okay, summon those powder kegs. It says neg 18 on the screen. Might have did it. Did we do it? Did we get enough? GG. Wrecked him good. So, not a bad set of battles. We got to carry pretty hard with the domination ability, but you do get to at least see some of the transition we're having to work towards in terms of getting these kind of cohesive Annie decks together, to where we had to pick up a little bit more top end, and then we had to also pick a strategy to come in and just build around, right? And so with this one, we were looking more towards using the prefect. We were loading the prefect up with stats, and then picking and choosing units that also had the skill abilities, and so that was just kind of the kind of core and the key to the deck. But nonetheless, not a bad set of battles. Hope everyone enjoyed the video. You have yourselves a good one out there.